everybody for joining us for the WikiTree Challenge #1 for Kathryn Lake Hogan. We're kicking off for 2025. I know there's a few new ones, so we'll definitely be going back over the outline we have for the challenge. Make sure we cover any questions you have, and hopefully we'll be able to get this uploaded to the YouTube channel so that it can be watched on the replay. So thank you for joining us. And again, welcome, Kathryn. It's great to have you as our guest.
I'm excited. I want to thank you and Aowen for accepting my request. I actually, for those of you who don't know, I actually emailed Aowen and Azure and asked them if I could be a guest for the challenge. Because I've participated in a lot of the challenges for different professional genealogists and well-known people in the genealogy community. I think ever since they kicked it off, I've tried to participate a little bit in each and every one. And so I emailed them and asked them, hey, would you consider me? And they said, yes. So I'm very excited to be here.
Yay. All right. So I just want to go ahead and get started and kind of share about the challenge. So for those of you who are new, this is our space page. Hopefully everybody can see I'm sharing my screen, and I'm going to just share the link in the chat there for you. So the space page is our place to collaborate and ask for help. We share information. So you should feel free to add information to the page. This is your workspace. There are just two places on here that you wouldn't make changes to, and that's the bounty section, the connections, and the brick walls. That's something that's handled by the challenge team leadership. So just leave those alone, but everything else feel free to add to. And Kathryn has added to the notes from Guest Star, which we love to see. It's really helpful for us. So we'll go ahead and get started. There's a link right here at the top to Kathryn's profile. This time we don't have a team captain that stepped up, so that usually would have a link to their profile. If anybody is interested in becoming a team captain, please reach out to AO and I. There's not really a lot involved. It's just communicating with challenge participants throughout the week. So if you're interested, please reach out. We'd love to have you. The next link here is an introduction to the WikiTree challenge. It's a short video, just kind of introducing it to you. I definitely recommend that to anybody who is new to the challenge. Another thing I want to definitely recommend is Discord. It is a real-time chat application and is a great way to keep up with what's happening during the week. We have a current challenge channel, and there's also a thread, which is kind of like a sub channel for our current challenge channel for merge requests. So those get done by AO and I. They're expedited, where usually the merges have to be, there's a process for getting it approved by the people who are profile managers. With the WikiTree challenge, we expedite those. Team members can get those taken care of for you. So there's information here about our guest star this week. Kathryn is from Ontario. I know there's a few of you from Ontario that joined the call, and Greg was here briefly at the beginning. He's also from Ontario, and he's going to be helping out during this challenge. So you'll see, hopefully he'll pop into the chat. And if you want to learn more about her, you can check out her profile page. And she there's links down in the social media section for her social media channels as well. And as mentioned, here's the notes from her. If you want to read through those, I believe, Kathryn, you said there was a PDF document I think you linked to.
Yeah.
Okay. So you might want to read through that. That'd be great. And Alesh, thank you so much. Alesh is on the call with us. He got us started or he was on the call with us. Yeah, there he is.
I still am.
He's got the score sheet started for us. We're good to go.
Yeah,
So
it's working, and also the suggestions are already active.
great. So there we go. That's so there's lots of things that you can do during the challenge. The main focus, of course, is adding to the connections out 7 degrees for our guest star, but you can also work on these suggestions. So cleaning up any errors or issues in the database that needs help. That's a great way to help keep the tree cleaned up. And let's see, want to make sure I'm covering everything. Oh, the other thing is that the G2G post that you joined the challenge on is linked here on to the space page. And it now has, instead of your answers registering for the challenge, there is a connection line or answer for each of the 8 great-grandparents for Kathryn. As you work on each of these lines, you can add comments. And also, this is where you would claim a bounty for a new connection to the tree for each of these lines. Okay?
Just the first one gets the points.
Yeah, just the first new connection. Okay.
I saw she has some comment there about profiles not to touch.
Yeah, so it looks
Yes.
like
So
there are. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did ask, I put some hold notices on a couple of probably about 4 or 5 profiles on my Rickman line of the family. And that's because I'm using those particular profiles for my accreditation project with iCapGen. So if people could not work on those particular ones, the hold notice is right on there. You'll see it. I would appreciate that. There's not very many, and my Rickman line goes back 400 years to New Netherlands. So if you want to work on that line, there's lots of fodder there for you. But if you could just respect those particular ones and not work on them, I'd really appreciate it.
So that's just not to work on those profiles, but the lines themselves that go through them are fine. So anybody around
Yeah,
them.
if you go further back chronologically, you're good.
All right.
I can't. Amanda said to lock those profiles. I can't because
They're
they are too far back.
Yeah.
Well, they're all open profiles.
Yeah.
Most of them are open profiles. So that's why I put the hold notice on them.
Sounds good. Okay. So let me.
But everything else is wide open. Everything else is wide open. And there's lots. There's lots. I have a lot of brick walls. So there's lots of opportunity there.
Oh, and I just want to mention too, so if you are having a hard time finding where everything's at, if you just go to the help menu and go down to forum, it opens up and the challenge post is pinned to the top and highlighted. So if you just scroll through, it's right here. So from there, you can get to the space page and everything. So just wanted to point that out. All right. And then, oh, another note for Discord, if you're on Discord, that once you're in the current challenge channel, sometimes it's helpful if you're working on a specific line to break out into a new thread for that line, especially if there's a lot of back and forth. So just kind of an idea to share with y'all. And a note about the score sheet, it updates once an hour. Connections refresh twice an hour. Though the score sheet won't reflect that, it says. Okay.
It won't reflect the, like it might update on the, say the 15 and 45. The score sheet won't update until whenever the score sheet updates.
Yeah. So back up
So
here.
There won't show. Sorry.
It's okay. So back up here under the guest star line, I just want to point out there is another short video that's helpful to watch because it helps you see how to find missing connections for our guest star. So that's a really helpful video if you're having a problem seeing where to get started. You can also always ask in G2G or of course in Discord. Everybody's willing to help out. So if you're looking for places to start, you can go to this needs work section, and we have challenge, WikiTree challenge maintenance categories. As people work on the challenge, you can add or you can work from these categories. So if something needs a biography, or if somebody has put on there that there's profiles that need created for this line, you can work from there or add one of these categories. It's really helpful way to go about it. So check those out. Please, if you do work from these, remember to remove the category from the profile if you've completed it, because at the end of the challenge, I have to go through and remove the WikiTree challenge maintenance categories from the profile. So, because we need to get it ready for the next challenge. So it's helpful if you can maintain those and keep them cleaned up. We do have WikiTree volunteers that are near family search centers or family search affiliate libraries. So they're able to do lookups for you for images if you come across family search images that are locked. So be sure to make an entry in here on the space page. And just to share how to do that, let me go ahead and just give you an example. Just click to edit the page. And then I'm just going to put an example here. And then what you do is you leave the 4 tilts. And what that does when you save your changes, it signs and dates your entry so that we know who to get back into contact with. So just to show you what that looks like, here's my entry that I just did. So you can see now somebody knows who left that note. You can also, at the top here, this is the section for asking for help. You can leave a note here if you're needing some help, and somebody will get in touch with you. The next section of the page is one of my favorites. It's seeing where we're going in the challenge. So I've already updated with the locations that that her CC7 is currently. So as you come across more provinces in Canada or counties in England or states in the US, please add. We love to see where we've been. You can see we're already in quite a few different countries. So that's lots of fun. And then be sure to tell us what you found. Interesting finds is an opportunity for you to earn bounty points. So that can be really anything that you feel is interesting. Please share it. We love to hear. And so does the guest star, of course, during the reveal. So, and we'll be sure to add the interesting find to that profile, including any newspaper articles about it. And then we have a section for military profiles. Excuse me. And it's broken out here in the years and then for each of the conflicts. And then there's a link to the project for each of these conflicts and the sticker for them. So you can kind of see how to use the sticker. If you need help, there's actually a WikiTree challenge needs military template category. So you could add that to that if you need help with it. But please add them here as you come across them, because we like to hear about them and see where they are. And any free space pages. So if you are adding a lot of profiles to a certain cemetery and you'd like to have a free space page for that cemetery created, maybe you're interested in that one, or if there is one that you see for that one, add that so we can see where we're at. Maybe others are also working on that. The other place that we want to see is if there are any name or place studies. So you can share those there. If you have an interest in a certain name or a place that you'd like to start, please let me know. I can get that started for you. All right, and this is the bounty opportunity section. So in addition to the interesting finds, these are your opportunities to win bounty points. So we have like we said, the connections that are listed out on the G2G, they're here as well. So this is where you let us know the first person who makes a unique connection for an individual wins that bounty points for this line. And you want to claim that point out in the G2G. About midweek, Aowen or Celia will be adding to this section, the brick wall section. They'll go through the tree and find lines or profiles that they want to set as the brick wall, your opportunity to win a bounty point. The next section of the page is just the schedule, so, and the links for the Zoom chats and the reveal. So this is where you can check to see when the next event is going to happen. Hopefully y'all can join in for the chat this weekend at noon Eastern. Love to have you. One of the main reasons why the challenge was started was to help spread the word about WikiTree with professional genealogists and just different people, and just to get it out, get the word out about what we're doing on WikiTree. So if you are on social media, please share about the challenge if you can, if you have an interest to. As mentioned before, here's Kathryn's social media channels are linked here, her user accounts there. So you can be sure to tag her in our WikiTree accounts if you make a post of your own, or you can go to the WikiTree official link here that's added throughout the week, and you can share or retweet those posts. You can see I've got one. Oh, it's got the wrong image there. I'll get that updated. But we have attached to the page images that you can use if you'd like to, or if you have an image that you think would be great to use on your social media, you need help, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help you with that. And the last section is the general WikiTree sources in there. This is where you can get some links to information about editing tips, example challenge profiles, and different extensions that are available. If you don't have the WikiTree browser extension or the WikiTree Sorcerer, I definitely recommend getting those both set up on your browser, because they're really very helpful. If you have questions about that, be sure to reach out. Happy to help again with that. And of course, WikiTree Plus is an invaluable tool. I mean, it's just so helpful to us. Thank you, Alesh. There is even here a link to a query for active challenge profiles with no parents if you want to get started somewhere. And there's an example for other searches here. There's a section about African American resources. If you have African American profiles that you're adding, please be sure to add the sticker to that profile. And of course, that goes right below the biography heading. And then we have specific country resources in the WikiTree source library, a valuable resource. So check that out. And of course, if you have any that you know about and you'd like to share, you can add them here as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and open it up to any questions. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask? Or anything they'd like to see, or do you know where you're going to work? All right, Ann, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. I was looking at Frank Crawford, and Frank Crawford has two different profiles, exactly the same. One is Frank 6392, and the other one is 6424. I was looking at your CC7, and the first one was Frank Crawford at 6392, and it's like it's locked. But then there's
That
a
one's not
Frank
mine.
Crawford
Yeah, just, and if you want to send that to me in the request merges thread,
Yeah.
we'll get that
Yeah, I
taken
will.
care of.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. Does anybody else
Yeah,
have any?
the Crawford 6424 is the one that's mine.
Yeah, I know this. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. It's beautiful.
Okay, anybody else have any questions or want to see anything?
Show me anyone.
It looks like Tommy's asking about suggestions needing corrections. So on the score sheet,
sorry. Oh, I've got oodles of fodder there because I uploaded a GEDCOM file, a huge GEDCOM file in 2012. I've been WikiTree since 2012, and that was when you could upload your whole GEDCOM file. So I did. Well, you know what? There's tons of stuff in that GEDCOM file that needs work on. You're going to see profiles that have no sources, no biographies, like nothing. So when you see suggestions needing correction, there's lots of correction out there. You will find lots of profiles that need, some of them need everything. They don't have any, a lot on them at all.
So Tommy, how you find those is
and it says naughty. It's a huge.
I found one.
On the space page, in the score sheet section, just click on the link for score sheet. That'll open it up, and right across the top here, there's a link for suggestions. So if you open that up, it's gonna take you to all the different suggestions that are needing some help. So I hope that answers your question, Tommy.
I found one already.
All right, great.
You've got a request.
Okay, so does anybody else have questions or want to see anything or share where they're going to be working?
I'm going to be working on the Evans line if I can. And if Kathryn wants it connecting up with Wales, if at all possible. Having said that, it may not connect because I know I've got Roberts that don't connect to Wales. So you'd probably think they would, but
that's a very good possibility, Hillary, because that line of the family, so the Evans line, the White House line, that's on my maternal grandmother's side of the family. They're well established in Wilsall, Staffordshire for over 100 years. And it was just a question. My mom had it. My mom passed away nearly 20 years ago, but she'd always commented. She thought it was interesting that, we have this Evans line, which is traditionally a Welsh surname, solid in England. And we were always curious if they were originally from Wales, if someone could get us back there. And then the flip side of that is my maternal grandfather has a surname of George, which is traditionally an English surname, but he's solid in Wales.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right. So that's why I just threw those questions out there. Can someone get George line to England? Can someone get the Evans line to Wales? I just thought, that would be kind of a challenge to see if anybody could do that. So I just put that out there.
Yeah.
Oh, and I remembered something I was supposed to mention. So just going to go back to the space page here. Under the section Ask for Help, there's a section for photographs. Please read the help section about copyrights and photos before asking AONRI about a specific photo. You need to check the website's terms of service. So make sure to check that out before coming to us with it. But of course, add a line here if you have a question. We're happy to help with those. And one other thing I just wanted to mention is that we do have different members that are willing to do transcriptions of wills. And so that's an opportunity to create a space page if it's needed. Sometimes it's nice, especially if it's a long will, to have a space page for that will transcription, because you don't want all of that on the profile for that ancestor, but you can link to it. And you can link to the other people that are listed in the will. So that's just an idea for a free space page. So if you're interested in free space pages or don't know how to do them, again, reach out. Everybody's willing to help. Free space pages are really great ways to share more information. All right. So does anybody else have anything? Oh,
Can I
Ann?
ask about GEDCOM cleanups?
Okay.
The ones that I'm starting with, which is the Gardner family,
Okay.
there's old GEDCOM information on there. Does Kathryn want it kept?
No, you know what? You can clean up. If it's all GEDCOM information, you can clean it up.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Because I also like my family tree, I also have a family tree program that I keep everything in as well. So I try, when I have time, I try to collaborate between the two and keep them updated. I just don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're seeing a profile that's got all the GEDCOM stuff on it, please go ahead and clean it up.
Great. And we did have a question. Somebody mentioned in the current challenge channel after you said you had muted your notifications from the channel, Kathryn.
Yeah.
So if somebody has a question, do you just want them to send you a DM on Discord then?
Sure.
Okay.
I muted that particular challenge because I want the reveal to be a surprise.
Good. Okay.
Right. So, so I wanted people to feel that they could go into the current challenge channel on Discord,
talk about stuff,
and they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. And I'm not going to look at it.
I'm
not going to look at it until after.
Good.
But then I thought if people really needed to chit chat about stuff and they're worried about me seeing anything, I won't see it.
Okay. So yeah. So if anybody has a question that they need Kathryn to answer, just send her a DM on Discord. She'll respond to you. So
yeah. Okay. So I see Anne has on here Martha Jean George, and that is my grandfather's sister. So what you need to know about that immediate George family is it's small. Martha did not have any children. Okay, so the only two siblings of my grandfather, well, one sibling, he himself, Joseph Brindley George, had children, and then his one sister, Anne Gwendolyn George, had children. That's it. All the other siblings did not have children. So our George family, especially in Canada, is very, very small. I think there's like 8 of us that are direct line descendants because they didn't have a lot of children. Now, there is a challenge if someone wants to try and tackle it with my grandfather's siblings. So the family story is that my grandfather had 2 younger siblings who died in infancy. So growing up, my grandfather was the youngest surviving child, but there were 2 younger siblings. One I've identified, and that's James Nicholas George. The other one we think is Elsie Sophia George, but every time I try to research Elsie Sophia George, I'm getting a different surname for the mother. So I don't know if this child, Elsie Sophia George, is the correct name for my grandfather's youngest sibling that passed away or not. So that's a big challenge if someone wants to try and tackle that.
All right.
I have a question for you, Az.
Okay.
Because the challenges are only 1 week now. For the brick walls, are you going to be posting that separately, or do you want me to add those to the free space?
That's something that Celia or Eowyn does about midweek. Those brick walls that are for bounty opportunities are just something they pick. It's not an actual brick wall of yours. It's just they go through and find a profile that they feel is it would be a good one to try
Okay.
to break through and pick
Well, I've
that
got a lot.
Challenging. We want people to succeed and feel good about themselves, but we don't want to succeed right away.
There's like a
problem.
balance there.
No
It's a delicate
problem.
pick 'em.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and let everybody go. Oh, I did want to mention, if you haven't already, sign up for the Connect-a-thon. I always love it when there's a Connect-a-thon right after a challenge, because we can continue working on the guest stars lines and getting those added. We are starting out at 742 connections. So hopefully we'll be able to get you your 1K connections badge fairly soon. And it would be great if we could get you to 2K. So anyway, that's something to think about. And the sign up for the Connect-a-thon, of course, is in the help G2G, and it's pinned right at the top. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us, and be sure to reach out with any questions. We'll see you hopefully on Saturday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.